Good morning and happy Saturday, the first Saturday of May, May the 2nd, 2020 for Metro Manila, the Philippines, Southeastern Asia. For the benefit of those YouTube viewers who want a world news update from amateur sources, I am attempting to provide you with one in this video. So the sources are listed in the description portion. If I then make any additions to them and provide interpretations of them, those additions and interpretations are primarily my own. Well, we should start from the global pandemic, coronavirus, which unfortunately still is advancing. According to the worldometers.info website, as of earlier today, 3,401,002 individuals in those listed countries. In the United States, 65,776. In Spain, 24,824. In Italy, 28,236. In Britain, 27,510. In France, 24,594. In Germany, 6,736. In Turkey, 3,258. In Russia, 1,169. In Iran, 6,091. In Brazil, 6,412. Then if we look at the countries with remarkably few infections and deaths, Qatar, Singapore, according to its official statistics so far, has only recorded 16 deaths from the coronavirus out of 17,101 infections. Belarus, or White Russia, a nearly totalitarian dictatorship in Eastern Europe, by the way, has recorded so far 93 deaths out of 14,917 infections. Qatar, an extremely wealthy oil state on the Persian Gulf in Western Asia, or if you prefer the term Middle East, so far has recorded only 12 deaths officially out of 14,096 infections. Australia has recorded 93 deaths out of 6,767 infections. Kuwait, another wealthy oil state on the Persian Gulf in Western Asia, has recorded 30 deaths out of 4,377 infections. Luxembourg, a very wealthy but tiny country in Western Europe, has recorded 92 deaths out of 3,802 infections. Of course, on a per capita basis, those rates are quite high given Luxembourg's low population, well under 1 million people. Kazakhstan, a rather huge but sparsely populated, resource-rich state in Central Asia, has recorded 25 deaths out of 3,597 infections. Bahrain, another wealthy oil-producing state on the Persian Gulf in Western Asia, has recorded 8 deaths out of 3,170 infections. Thailand has recorded 54 deaths out of 2,960 infections. Oman, also in the Persian Gulf, Thailand, of course, is located in Southeastern Asia, but on the Persian Gulf, Oman, and therefore in Western Asia, has recorded 11 deaths out of 2,447 infections. Afghanistan, a mountainous and until recently war-ravaged and still very poor country in Central Asia, has recorded 68 deaths out of 2,335 infections. Nigeria, Africa's most populous country in Central Africa, it's located has recorded 68 deaths out of 2,170 infections. Iraq, which is an unstable parliamentary democracy in Western Asia, has recorded 94 deaths out of 2,153 infections. Armenia, located in the Caucasus region of Western Asia, has recorded 33 deaths out of 2,148 infections. Uzbekistan in Central Asia has recorded 9 deaths out of 2,086 infections. Croatia in Southeastern Europe has recorded 75 deaths out of 2,085 infections. Ghana in Western Africa has recorded 17 deaths out of 2,074 infections. Azerbaijan in Western Asia has recorded 25 deaths out of 1,854 infections. Cameroon in Central Africa has recorded 61 deaths out of 1,832 infections. Iceland in the North Atlantic, but in Northern Europe as well, has recorded 10 deaths out of 1,798 infections. Of course, on a per capita basis, it's a higher figure because Iceland does not even have 400,000 inhabitants yet. Bosnia-Herzegovina, a previously war-torn republic or parliamentary republic in the Balkan Peninsula of southeastern Europe, has recorded 70 deaths out of 1,781 infections. Estonia, a tiny parliamentary republic in the Baltic region, and more specifically or more generally Northern Europe, has recorded 52 deaths out of 1,694 infections. Bulgaria, a parliamentary and democratic republic on the Balkan Peninsula of southeastern Europe, has recorded 68 deaths out of 1,555 infections. Cuba, a totalitarian communist republic in the Caribbean region of Latin America, has recorded 64 deaths out of 1,537 infections. Guinea, which is located in Western Africa, has recorded 7 deaths out of 1,537 infections. North Macedonia, another parliamentary republic of the Balkan Peninsula in southeastern Europe, has recorded 81 deaths out of 1,494 infections. New Zealand, a parliamentary and democratic kingdom belonging to the British Commonwealth in Oceania, has recorded so far 20 deaths out of 1,485 infections. Slovenia, another parliamentary republic in southeastern Europe on the Balkan Peninsula, and by the way, the current United States First Ladies or presidential wives' native land, Melania Knaus, or now Trump, who's born there, has recorded 92 deaths out of 1,434 infections. Slovakia, another parliamentary republic in Eastern Europe, has recorded 23 deaths out of 1,403 infections. Lithuania, which is the southernmost of the Baltic countries and can be classified as an Eastern European country, has recorded 45 deaths out of 1,399 infections. Ivory Coast in Western Africa has recorded 15 deaths out of 1,333 infections. Ivory Coast is, according to its main official language, French, known as Côte d'Ivoire. Bolivia in South America, and therefore also in Latin America, has recorded 66 deaths out of 1,229 infections. Djibouti, which is an authoritarian republic in Eastern Africa, has recorded 2 deaths out of 1,097 infections. Then Senegal in Western Africa has recorded 9 deaths out of 1,024 infections. Tunisia has so far recorded 41 deaths out of 998 infections. Tunisia is a semi-presidential republic in Northern Africa. Latvia, the middle Baltic country and can be classified as a Northern European country, has recorded 16 deaths out of 870 infections. Cyprus, which is a divided republic, the main Cypriot Republic in the south, is a semi-presidential democratic republic located in Western Asia but belongs to the European Union, has recorded 15 deaths out of 857 infections. Honduras, a presidential democratic republic in Central America, therefore Latin America, has recorded 75 deaths out of 804 infections. Albania, a parliamentary and democratic republic on the Balkan Peninsula in southeastern Europe, has recorded 31 deaths out of 782 infections. Kyrgyzstan, which is a presidential or semi-presidential republic in Central Asia, has recorded 8 deaths out of 756 recorded infections. Andorra, which is an independent principality located on the Pyrenees Mountains range between France and Spain, has recorded 43 deaths out of 745 infections. Lebanon, which is a parliamentary confessional republic in Western Asia, has recorded 24 deaths out of 729 infections. Niger, a republic in Central Africa or Western Africa, has recorded 33 deaths out of 728 infections. Costa Rica, a presidential republic in Central America and therefore Latin America, has recorded 6 deaths out of 725 infections. Sri Lanka, a semi-presidential republic in Southern Asia, has recorded 7 deaths out of 690 infections. Burkina Faso, a republic in Western Asia, has recorded 44 deaths out of 649 infections. Uruguay, a presidential republic in South America and therefore Latin America, has recorded 17 deaths out of 648 infections. Guatemala, a presidential republic in Central and therefore Latin America, has recorded 16 deaths out of 644 infections. The Democratic Republic of the Congo, a semi-presidential republic in Central Africa, has recorded 32 deaths out of 604 infections. Somalia, a presidential republic or semi-presidential republic, I'm not sure which, in Eastern Africa, has recorded 28 deaths out of 601 infections. San Marino, a parliamentary and a directorial republic with 2 heads of state being elected every 6 months in southern Europe, has recorded 41 deaths out of 580 infections. Georgia, a parliamentary republic in the Caucasus region of Western Asia, has recorded 7 deaths out of 566 infections. Sudan, a presidential republic in transition to democracy, has recorded and located in Eastern Africa, has recorded 36 deaths out of 533 infections. Mali, which is a republic in Western Africa, has recorded 26 deaths out of 508 infections. Maldives, a country in Southern Asia, has recorded 1 death out of 491 infections. Tanzania, a presidential republic in Eastern Africa, has recorded 16 deaths out of 480 infections. Malta, a parliamentary republic in the Mediterranean in southern Europe, Europe's southernmost country, has recorded 4 deaths out of 467 infections. Jordan, which is a constitutional semi-parliamentary kingdom in Western Asia, has recorded 8 deaths out of 459 infections. Jamaica, a parliamentary and democratic kingdom belonging to the British Commonwealth, located in the Caribbean region of Latin America, has recorded 8 deaths out of 432 infections. Taiwan, a democratic semi-presidential republic located in Eastern Asia, has recorded 6 deaths out of 429 infections. El Salvador, a presidential republic in Central and Latin America has recorded 10 deaths out of 424 infections. Kenya, a presidential republic in Eastern um, Africa, has recorded 21 deaths out of 411 infections. Palestine, a presidential partly recognized republic in Western Asia, has recorded 2 deaths out of 353 infections. Venezuela, which is an authoritarian and dictatorial presidential republic in South America and Latin America, has recorded 10 deaths out of 335 infections. 10 deaths have also been recorded in Paraguay, a democratic presidential republic in South and Latin America, and Mauritius, which is a republic off the coast of Eastern Africa. Montenegro, a parliamentary and democratic republic on the Balkan Peninsula of southeastern Europe, has recorded 7 deaths out of 322 infections. Equatorial Guinea, which is a republic in Central Africa, has recorded 1 death out of 315 infections. Gabon, another republic in Central Africa, has recorded 3 deaths out of 276 infections. Vietnam, which is a totalitarian communist republic in Southeastern Asia, has so far recorded no deaths out of 270 infections. Guinea-Bissau, which is a semi-presidential republic in Western Africa, has recorded 1 death out of 257 infections. Rwanda, a presidential republic in Eastern Africa, has recorded 249 infections but no deaths. The Republic of the Congo, a semi-presidential republic in Central Africa, has recorded 9 deaths out of 229 infections. Liberia, a presidential republic in Western Africa, has recorded 18 deaths out of 152 infections. Myanmar, which is a semi-presidential republic in Southeastern Asia, has recorded 6 deaths out of 151 infections. Myanmar was formerly known as Burma. Brunei, which is an authoritarian or an absolute monarchy, a sultanate in Southeastern Asia, has recorded 1 death out of 138 infections. Sierra Leone, a presidential republic in Western Africa, has recorded 7 deaths out of 136 infections. Ethiopia, a parliamentary and transitional republic, a one-party dominant state in Eastern Africa, has recorded 3 deaths out of 133 infections. Madagascar, a semi-presidential republic or a presidential republic on the eastern coast of Africa, has recorded 132 infections but no deaths. Togo, a presidential republic in Western Africa, has recorded 9 deaths out of 123 infections. Cabo Verde, a presidential republic in Central Africa, has recorded 1 death out of 122 infections. Cambodia, which is a constitutional kingdom in southeastern Asia, has recorded 122 infections but no deaths. Trinidad and Tobago, a parliamentary and democratic kingdom inside the British Commonwealth in the Caribbean region of Latin America, has recorded 116 infections and 8 deaths. Zambia, a presidential republic in southern Africa, has recorded 3 deaths out of 109 infections. Eswatini, a constitutional kingdom in southern Africa, has recorded 1 death out of 106 infections. Monaco, which is a parliamentary and constitutional principality in Western Europe, has recorded 4 deaths out of 95 infections. Benin, a presidential republic in Western Africa, has recorded 2 deaths out of 90 infections. Haiti, officially a semi-presidential republic, but an authoritarian presidential republic for the time being, in the Caribbean region of Latin America, has recorded 8 deaths out of 85 infections. Uganda, a presidential republic in Eastern Africa, has had 85 infections, according to the official figures, with no deaths. Bahamas, another parliamentary and democratic kingdom inside the British Commonwealth, located in the Caribbean region of Latin America, has had 11 deaths out of 82 infections. Guyana, a presidential republic in South America and therefore Latin America, has had 9 deaths out of 82 infections. Liechtenstein, constitutional semi-parliamentary, or anyway parliamentary principality with, however, fairly wide powers for the prince, has recorded 1 death out of 82 infections. Barbados, another parliamentary and democratic kingdom inside the British Commonwealth in the Caribbean region of Latin America, has recorded 7 deaths out of 81 infections. Mozambique, presidential or semi-presidential republic in southeastern Africa, has recorded 79 infections, but no deaths. Chad, a presidential republic in Central to Eastern Africa, has recorded 5 deaths out of 73 infections. The Central African Republic, a presidential republic in Central Africa, has recorded 72 infections, but no deaths. Libya, which is now in civil war, officially a semi-presidential or presidential republic in Northern Africa, has recorded 3 deaths out of 63 infections. Nepal, a parliamentary republic in the Indian subcontinent of Southern Asia, has recorded 59 infections, but no deaths. South Sudan, a semi-presidential republic, transitional republic in Eastern Africa, has recorded 45 infections, but no deaths. Syria, an authoritarian presidential republic in Western Asia, has recorded 3 deaths out of 44 infections. Zimbabwe, a semi-presidential republic in Southern Africa, has recorded 4 deaths out of 40 infections. Eritrea, which is an authoritarian presidential republic in Eastern Africa, has so far recorded no deaths but 39 infections. Mongolia, a semi-presidential republic in Eastern Asia, has recorded 38 infections but no deaths. Malawi, a semi-presidential or presidential republic in Southern Africa, has recorded 3 deaths out of 37 infections. Angola, a presidential republic in southwestern Africa, has recorded 2 deaths out of 30 infections. Antigua and Barbuda, a parliamentary and democratic kingdom inside the British Commonwealth located in the Caribbean region of Latin America, has recorded 3 deaths out of 25 infections. Timor-Leste, or East Timor, a semi-presidential republic in southeastern Asia, has recorded 24 infections so far. Botswana, which is a republic in southern Africa, has recorded 1 death out of 23 infections. Grenada, another parliamentary and democratic kingdom inside the British Commonwealth located in the Caribbean region of Latin America, has recorded 20 infections. Laos, which is a totalitarian communist republic in southeastern Asia, has recorded 19 infections, no deaths. Belize, that's a parliamentary and democratic kingdom belonging to the British Commonwealth in Central and therefore Latin America, has recorded 2 deaths out of 18 infections. Fiji, which is a republic in Oceania, has recorded 18 infections, no deaths. St. Lucia, a parliamentary and democratic kingdom belonging to the British Commonwealth, located in the Caribbean region of Latin America, has had 17 infections but no deaths. Sao Tome and Principe, which is a republic in, it's probably, I would have to check that, sorry. So it's in Central Africa, and it is a semi-presidential republic. It has so far recorded 1 death out of 16 infections. Dominica, a parliamentary and democratic kingdom belonging to the British Commonwealth in the Caribbean region of Latin America, has recorded 16 infections, no deaths. Namibia, which is a presidential republic in southwestern Africa, has recorded 16 infections, no deaths. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a parliamentary and democratic kingdom belonging to the British Commonwealth in the Caribbean region of Latin America, has recorded 16 infections, no deaths. St. Kitts and Nevis, another parliamentary and democratic kingdom belonging to Latin America and the Caribbean region, has recorded 15 infections, no deaths. Tajikistan, a presidential republic in Central Asia, has recorded 15 infections, no deaths. Nicaragua, an authoritarian presidential republic in Central America, Latin America, has recorded 3 infections, 3 deaths out of 14 infections. Gambia, which is a republic in Western Africa, has recorded 1 death out of 12 infections. Then Burundi, a presidential republic in Eastern Africa, has recorded 1 death out of 11 infections. Vatican City, which is an elective absolute theocratic monarchy in the city of Rome in southern Europe, has recorded 11 infections, no deaths. Seychelles, a presidential republic off the coast of Eastern Africa, has recorded 11 infections, no deaths. Suriname, which is a presidential republic in South America, Latin America, has recorded 1 death out of 10 infections. Mauritania, which is a presidential republic in Western Africa, has recorded 1 death out of 8 infections. Papua New Guinea, which is a parliamentary constitutional kingdom inside the British Commonwealth in Oceania, has recorded 8 infections, no deaths. Yemen, which is a civil war, officially a presidential republic in the Persian Gulf region of Western Asia, has recorded 2 deaths out of 7 infections. Bhutan, which is a kingdom, constitutional kingdom in the Himalayan region of the India, unitary parliamentary constitutional kingdom, has so far recorded 7 infections but no deaths. Comoros, which is, Western Sahara, which is an unrecognized republic, Western Africa. Partly still occupied by Western or Northwestern Africa. Partly still occupied by Morocco. It has recorded so far 6 infections but no deaths. Comoros, which is a federal presidential republic in off the eastern coast of Africa, has so far recorded 1 infection but no deaths. These are, of course, the official figures. It may well be that at least tens of countries, in fact, have more infections and deaths than recorded, because some, or according to one medical expert's recent statement, even up to half of the coronavirus patients possibly do not exhibit symptoms. The world's population is today over 7,781,000,000 people. China's population is over 1,438,000,000 people. India's population is nearing now, and probably will surpass today 1,378,000,000 people. So to the world news, after rumors about his health, including claims that he would have had a cardiovascular surgery on April the 11th, so 3 weeks ago, North Korea's state media report the country's dictator's Kim Jong-un's appearance. Britain hits coronavirus testing target as death toll leaps again. Britain has hit its target of carrying out 100,000 COVID-19 tests a day, said the country's health minister Matt Hancock on Friday. The Taliban steps up attacks on Afghan forces since signing the US deal, according to data. US sanctions Iranian Iraqi businessman over support of Iran's Quds force. Canada bans assault-style weapons in the aftermath of mass shooting in one of its Atlantic provinces, Nova Scotia, that cost 22 lives, plus the life of the perpetrator, a dentitrician. Malaysia is rounding up migrants to contain coronavirus spread, according to the police. Colombia fires 11 military officials in spying investigation. Police in Chile, South America detain over 50 protesters at Labor Day rally on May the 1st. French life will not be normal after May the 11th, says the country's president Emmanuel Macron, although the national lockdown will end that day. The partner of the arrested establisher of the whistleblowing website WikiLeaks, Australian-born Julian Assange, says that his life is in danger in a London prison. The International Monetary Fund approves $643 million in pandemic aid for Ecuador. At least 17 people, or 17 prisoners, have been killed in a riot at a Venezuelan jail, according to the army. US President Donald Trump has no comment on the report that North Korea's Kim made a public appearance. Alberta, which is Canada's second westernmost province and politically the country's most conservative province, launches Canada's first contact tracing app or apparatus as the economy slowly reopens. Britain's Princess Charlotte celebrates her 5th birthday. Ireland takes a small first step in coronavirus escape plan, laying out a roadmap for a gradual reopening of the economy from May the 18th if the virus can be kept under control. The Irish Taoiseach, or Prime Minister Leo Varadkar, sees targeted extension of emergency wage and welfare schemes. Using plastic markers, Greek workers defy ban to mark Labor Day. Albania is to take a step closer to pre-virus freedom in May, allowing shopping centers to open or reopen and cars to travel again without permits from May the 11th, according to a plan published by Prime Minister Edi Rama on Friday. Yemen records its first coronavirus case in Taiz province as the virus spreads. Germany's confirmed coronavirus cases rise by 945 to 161,703. So let's see now. Here in the Philippines, Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle has become the first Filipino cardinal bishop. The IATF allows partial resumption of Philippine offshore gaming operators, or POGOs. Police arrested 2 labor leaders before noon yesterday after they staged a demonstration together with 6 others in a subdivision. Hotter temperatures are seen in the Philippines this May. Religious gatherings are again banned under the greater community quarantine, or whatever it is. 23 Kidney Institute staff have tested positive for the coronavirus. Over 1,200 stranded seafarers have been sent home to the Philippines from Los Angeles. Some local government units on greater community quarantine keep border control rules, according to the Inquirer newspaper. According to the Manila Times, the Philippine government's debt hits an all-time high. The Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte calls for humane working conditions amid the coronavirus crisis. According to the Channel News Asia, Singapore reports 932 new coronavirus cases, bringing the total past 17,000. Malaysian couple opts for Skype wedding amid the curbs caused by the coronavirus in their respective homes. According to the Australian Broadcasting Corporation news, hotels are being used to house returning travelers serving out 14 days of quarantine, but stories are starting to emerge of their traumatic experiences. 4 states out of 6 in Australia have tallied fewer than 50 active coronavirus cases each. According to the New Zealand Herald newspaper, the latest victim to die of the coronavirus in New Zealand was George Hollings, a Rosewood Rest Home resident in his 80s. He died in Christchurch Burwood Hospital early this morning. New Zealand's Prime Minister, Ms. Jacinda Ardern, has been praised for her crisis handling. On the other hand, some have also criticized her of exaggerating the pandemic and possibly of even misleading the public and omitting some important details. Lockdown meant closing businesses, cloistering people in their own homes, and calling off weddings and funerals. According to the africanews.com website, the Kenya coronavirus cases hit 411. The Kenyan President, Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta, defends his flower donation to Britain. There are 5 African countries with ongoing coronavirus trials. Effective vaccine against the virus. Egypt, Northern Africa or Northeastern Africa, actually, Zambia in Southern Africa, Nigeria in Central Africa, Tunisia in Northern Africa, and South Africa in Southern Africa. Africa, the Africa Centers for Disease Control admitted that comparatively few treatments were taking place in Africa. According to the Euronews website, euronews.com website, a drive-in cinema or movie or film showing takes off or movie theater takes off at Vilnius airport in Lithuania. And then the European Union competition commissioner, Danish politician Ms. Margrethe Vestager, appeared lukewarm about the proposal. Yeah, this actually was on Thursday. Let's see if there are any fresher news items. Yeah, to cancel flight refunds. Anyway, France and Italy are now in recession as Spain sees a record decline in its gross domestic product. According to the YLE Finnish Public Broadcasting Corporation, an asylum seeker who allegedly faked death is suspected of fraud and forgery. The man's daughter is also a suspect in a case that awarded her 20,000 euros in a European court. An exceptionally peaceful May Day or May the 1st took place in Finland yesterday. According to the latest statistics, over 5,000 people in Finland have been diagnosed with the coronavirus. Let's get the precise figures. Yeah, 5,051 recorded cases of coronavirus, 218 have died so far. Hopes for good health and jobs are found in a Finnish happiness survey. One of the consequences of the coronavirus is that there is an unprecedented and excessive littering, that is, careless throwing of garbage on the streets, for example. Schools and more specifically grade schools, in other words, elementary and junior high schools and daycare centers, are to reopen in Finland on May the 14th. And then turning to Canada, in Edmonton, Alberta, most evacuation orders have been lifted as the Fort McMurray floodwaters recede. Ontario, Canada's most populous province, located mostly in central Canada, is going to allow some workplaces to reopen next week as long as they meet strict public health measures and operate safely during the COVID-19 outbreak. The list includes garden centers, nurseries, and some construction projects. It is official. Canada's economy is in a recession. Recent comments by Green Party leadership hopeful Glenn Murray about discrimination in Canada are being called offensive, misinformed, and dangerous. According to the Toronto Star newspaper, police are investigating the theft of Alberta Health Ministry laptops from the legislature in April. Vancouver police in British Columbia say that anti-Asian and hate-related crimes spiked in April. British Columbia's finance minister is resolute on the province's 1.5 billion Canadian dollars COVID-19 recovery fund. According to the Globe and Mail newspaper, the Liberals' assault rifle ban leaves both sides in gun control debate unhappy. Peter MacKay, who is a hopeful, one of the candidates for the Canadian Conservative Party's leadership, it's the country's largest opposition party, issues a libel notice over the post-millennial article on polling. Canada's Immunity Task Force takes aim at pressing COVID-19 questions. OpenText won't reopen half its offices after the pandemic amid restructuring and work from home success. According to the Washington Post newspaper, President Trump, Vice President Pence, and their aides are tested regularly for the coronavirus, and all who enter the White House campus to meet them are required to undergo on-site rapid tests. The White House blocks medical expert Dr. Anthony Fauci from testifying before the House panel next week. Crowds demanding a relaxation of restrictions gather in several cities with more protests planned for the weekend. According to the USA Today newspaper, the New York state legislators did not just accept a raise. The Food and Drug Administration approves the first COVID-19 drug, while needs on Michael Flynn. According to the BBC World News, the World Health Body, meaning the World Health Organization, did not waste time. And the Elon Musk tweet wipes $14 billion off Tesla's value. According to the MexicoNewsDaily.com website, in one day, 1,425 new coronavirus cases have been recorded in Mexico as the total approaches 20,000. However, the Mexican federal deputy health minister predicts a decline in the case numbers to begin next week. The General Health Council of Mexico has updated its bioethical guide, removing age as a factor when doctors make decisions about which patients should take priority. The quarantine brings clean beaches and turquoise blue water in Veracruz on Mexico's Caribbean coast. According to the newsnow.co.uk website dealing with the Latin American news, the coronavirus surge in Brazil brings coffin shortage and morgue chaos. Bullion for oil services rendered. Brazil fires officials fighting destruction of the Amazon rainforest. Then police brutality marks Workers' Day in Chile. Ecuadorian president urges workers and employers to come to agreements to avoid layoffs amid the pandemic. And then, according to the Rio Times online news website dealing with Brazil, escalation of the COVID-19 crisis leaves over 1,000 patients waiting for beds in Rio de Janeiro. And doctors in Rio de Janeiro are still working despite delayed wages and coronavirus symptoms. The COVID-19 crisis in Brazil amplifies inequalities and affects even workers with higher education. So, this at last is the end of my global news summary. I wish you all a nice and blessed and peaceful, stress free and worry free, and even fear free weekend. And of course, I hope and pray that all of you will remain healthy this May and beyond, and will be able to work, those of you who are able and willing to work.